All right, folks, hey, it's Monday. That means smoking with Joe. I got, what's that? 3 slabs of ribs on there going through the smoke routine on my pellet grill. I absolutely love my pellet grill. Let's see if we get this straightened out a little bit here, make this pretty decent. So, as you can tell, I'm back home. 13-hour drive home from North Carolina, but miss my granddaughter so much, my new granddaughter. So if you've listened to a previous video, we went through a traumatic event 2 weeks ago, and the update on that is Everly is just fine. She has to take some heart medicine, but she has a short circuit, let's say, in her heart electrical system that causes her heart to run away. And causes her to be exhausted, so she's not wanting to eat, not wanting to drink, and her body was starting to shut down, caused a very traumatic event. And thanks for all the kind wishes and prayers from the folks on this channel, but she is just fine, takes this medicine, and she's expected to grow out of it by 12 months old, so fantastic. Couldn't have asked for a better outcome than that. So thanks for all the good wishes. So, hey, last week I was having a conversation with a buddy of mine who's 3 to 5 years from retiring. He says the 4% rule works for me. What should I be doing in 2024? So I thought this audience may enjoy the advice I gave him. Sorry, keep getting distracted. There's cars driving down the street. My cat's at my feet right here. I haven't seen my cat in a couple weeks. But I got 7 things that I told this individual. His name was John. That's all I'll say. But the first thing, when you're 3 to 5 years out, you really need to get serious about asset location. Where are your assets located? Just because you may have the 4% rule in, say you got $1 million, you need $40,000 to spend. You may have all that in pre-tax 100% stock. Well, how much do you have? You need to start getting some in savings. You need to start getting some in fixed. You need to get some, maybe, like I said, in pre-tax, but what's in post-tax? What's maybe in a Roth. This is very important when you're retired to try to manage a couple things. One, your taxes, huge deal. Managing your taxes, managing your income level, that helps out with qualifying for the Affordable Care Act. It helps out for Medicare, and also making it through a down market. So when the market is, you got things in 100% stock and the market goes down 50%, that's not a good time to be selling your stocks, because instead of pulling 4% out, you're going to be pulling 8% out. Incredibly important for asset location, okay? Some people do this, they start off with like a 60-40 portfolio, the 40 being bonds, 60 being stocks. But you still got to work, in that bond section, what is in your ready now, that you can access tomorrow? What are you going to live on? What will give you a decent return maybe for 4, 6, 8, 12 months out? I use buckets. So I have 5 years now, and I recently had this at 3, and I bumped it up to 5 because of the good rates I'm getting on CDs and bonds. But I got 5 years out of the market. Now, probably 1.5 of that is really in CDs and cash, okay? Just things that are just 100% guaranteed. I know what it's going to be. The rest, I got a lot in money market fund, things like that. Then I also have another 5 years that is in bonds. So I got 10 years essentially out of the market. Now, most people can't do that. I got another video on why I've got that much, but I wanted to be able to handle the full bear market, the trough, and then the ride back up. So many people say, oh, bear markets only last a year. Yeah, that's the down. Bear is the down 20%. When does it come back up to new highs? Big deal. The 2000 to 2010 was almost 10 years that it took to do that total swing. So I'm prepared for that. A lot of people think that's crazy. It just happened 20 years ago, okay? So it's not a pipe dream. So asset location, you've got to start thinking, not only do I have enough money, but when the market's up, where do I pull my money from? When the market is down, where do I pull my money from? And where can I put my money where I will not panic and make crazy decisions and sell stock when it may be down 40%, 50%, and then miss out on the bull market to come. Know where your money is going to come from in all markets, and you got to stress test that. You got to trial that out. If you use Excel, I don't recommend that, but if you use Excel, make sure you stress test. Okay, the market's down for the first 3 years, 4 years, 5 years. Where does my money come from? And does that 4% rule make sense and work for me? The second thing, and it's related to the first, is to de-risk your investments. You can't have, I urge you to look up the term sequence of return risk. You can't have everything in 100% stocks. When you won the game, when you're retired and you're starting to pull money out, it's a different game than accumulation. In accumulation, the stock market goes down 50%, you just keep buying low, right? You can just keep buying, it'll come back around. When you're pulling it out, okay, and the market's down, you've got the 4% rule on that $1 million again. That's $40,000. The stock market goes down 50%, which it has, okay? Goes down 50%. You're now pulling 8% to get that same $4,000. So $40,000. Sorry for that. You got to start de-risking. You won the game. Play a little defense, and that's what I'm doing with my bucket 1 and 2. Yeah, potentially, if I'm lucky, I can make it without my bucket 2. But do you want luck to be your plan? So that was my advice to John here. Okay, number 3. Stop depending solely on Excel. Guys, I used to do retirement coaching. Talked to over 300 people. And the people that used Excel were vastly unprepared for what could happen and how all the factors work together. It's time and, Social Security, any pension you may have, any inheritance you may have, one-time expenses. How do these things all work together? IRMA, which is your Medicare premiums. It's very complex. Most people, 99% of you, cannot do an Excel program that will simulate everything that a comprehensive software package can. I personally retired based on Excel, but I found a software package called New Retirement since then, and it is so much easier, and I get so much confidence knowing that somebody has airproofed just the cells, has airproofed all the math, and then it models everything, okay? Models everything, especially taxes. Taxes is gold. No other package does what New Retirement does on taxes, where I could see year by year through 90 years old, whatever, what I'm going to be paying in taxes, what tax bracket I'm in, and which funds I should be pulling money out of to reduce my taxes. That'll be my largest bill in retirement is taxes. Stop using Excel. For a free 2 weeks of the software package I'm talking about, look at New Retirement, the first link you'll come to below. Stop dependent on it. There's errors in your plan. You have cell errors you should have added where you should have multiplied, should have subtracted. You forgot about a cell. I'm telling you, there's errors in your plan. You need to understand how all your assets work together and all your expenses, your one-time expenses that come up, okay? Let's see, de-risk, stop dependent on Excel. I'm telling you, most of the people that use New Retirement figure out they can retire earlier. So that's worth the link. Hit the link below. That's free 2 weeks. After that, I promise you, if you use that, you'll pay $120 a year. I pay that. I pay $120 a year. They don't give me a break or anything on it. Okay, number 4, you gotta know your expenses. And when I was talking to John about the 4% rule as expenses, he was just kind of, thinking off the top of his head about expenses. I said, no, you can't do that. You gotta get serious about expenses. Line by line, what are you spending now? What are you gonna spend in retirement? Don't forget about your go-go spending years. If there are things you want to do in retirement, don't forget about that. Don't forget about one-time expenses. A lot of retirees get burned on one-time expenses. They forget to put in $50,000 for a car. They forget to put in, $25,000 for a new roof. They forget about $15,000 for a new furnace. They forgot about a wedding. They forgot about this and that, okay? Downsizing. What if you're downsizing and you're gonna inject $100,000 into your portfolio? Maybe that allows you to retire earlier. You gotta know your expenses. New retirement handles that great for you. Number 5, don't go it alone. Folks, I know money is private. I know you're holding the cards close to your vest, and maybe you're embarrassed. Maybe it's a game of competition. Maybe the person I'm talking to has more money or less money than me. Get over it. Check your ego out the door. You can't make a mistake with retirement. Have somebody look at your plan, okay? I've looked at over 300 plans. 2 of them did not have an error in them. 2. I'm going to start a video series here coming up demonstrating new retirement with the errors people have made and the financial impact they are worth. And they're hundreds of thousands of dollars, okay? New retirement highlights them, and then I also highlight them just because I'm an independent person looking at what are you doing? Just as an example, people would be invested too heavily in stocks. They say, I need this money, I need to start living on this money 6 months from now, and it's in the stock market. That's high risk, may work out, may not, okay? High risk, I wouldn't do that. That's the kind of thing that a second person could see. Why are you taking Social Security at 62? You take it at 67, model that, you may have more money. You may have more protection in case one of the spouses dies early, okay? So that's what a second person looking at it can do. Also, expenses. I mentioned, well, what about a new car? And they go, well, I didn't think about that. What, you're not gonna drive a car? It's easy. Go spending. Yeah, we wanna travel. Where's that in the budget that you're gonna travel? You're gonna travel international. Okay, take all that travel budget, multiply it by 2. So get somebody else to look at your plan. If you don't know where to start, the second link below is a free link to talk to the folks at Money Pickle. They'll set you up. Money Pickle is just a website. They set you up with a certified financial planner to review whatever you want to talk about. 45 minutes free. You got to do this, folks. You got to do it. It's just, hey, if you don't feel confident in your plan, you have to call, okay? And if you're confident in your plan, be ready to defend it, okay? So tell them you want to review your plan, you want to review when you want to take Social Security, you want to review expenses. Does this make sense with what other people do? Free call, second link, okay? You got to do that. I use a retirement group. I love having a retirement group. A lot of people say it's impossible to start one. I got 2 people where we do intimate sharing of all my expenses, where all my money's at. Every move I make, I run by these people, okay? And they tell me I'm doing stupid things. They tell me I wouldn't do that, and yet I still get to decide. Folks, that is, going it alone is probably the worst mistake you can make in your retirement, going it completely alone. Because you're gonna have times when the market's down 40% and you're gonna wanna panic. You're gonna have times when the market's up 20% and you're gonna want to, just go crazy with that. The 4% rule doesn't, you got to take the good with the bad to average that 4%. You don't spend wildly when the market's up 20%, and you don't cut drastically when it's down 20%. So having people to check your ego, to check your emotions, powerful to me. Check out the guys at Money Pickle. Talk to a financial advisor. They love to talk to you. They're not obligated to sign up for something when you meet with a financial advisor. You could just say, what can you do for me? Here's my assets, here's my plan, what can you do for me? And listen, it's free, okay? Talk to the folks at Money Pickle, talk to a financial advisor. If you already have new retirement, for $150, they'll have somebody review your plan with you, live, over the phone. Priceless. Do not make that mistake of going it alone. Number 6, and this is a big one too, okay? This is what's going to keep you out of working one more year. It's always going to make financial sense to work one more year. Get over it. It makes financial sense to work to 100, okay? But get excited about what you're retiring to. What journey are you going on? Is it to start a YouTube channel? Is it to do umpiring? Is it to work wine tasting? Is it to visit your grandchildren? It's February, towards the end of February right now. I've spent 5 weeks with my granddaughter in North Carolina. I couldn't do that if I was working. I love it. I love it. I do some consulting. I do some writing. Tomorrow I'm painting a house for Habitat. Get to meet the owner. I love volunteering. I got a couple nonprofits I'm involved with. What are you retiring to? Controlling your time. Do you want to smoke meat on a Monday midday? You know, it doesn't get any better than this. Hey, it's 70 degrees here in southern Indiana too, so I got long sleeves on, but I could have shorts and flip-flops on if I wanted to. I control my time. I exercise every day, focus on my health. What are you retiring to? Stress. If you don't think you're under stress, you're wrong. You're wrong. You're working, you got deadlines, you got expectations, you got an alarm clock, you got stress in your life. Wait till you retire. Wait till you retire, you'll know what no stress looks like. Okay, the 7th thing, and this is the final one, thing you need to do this year, 3 to 5 years out, start talking to your spouse. What's their vision of retirement? What's your vision of retirement? And see what overlap there is. Don't do what I did, and I skipped this. I didn't know about this, and that's why I'm preaching, okay? Talk to your spouse. What I think what works for me is my wife and I are on a couple journeys together. We love to travel together, which is, a lot of time. We travel together. We're on a nutrition journey together. We exercise together, okay? But we have a couple journeys where we're on our own. This YouTube channel's on my own. My consulting's on my own. I don't spend a whole lot of time on it. My Habitat is on my own. My wife works at a consignment store where they donate all the profits to the poor. And that's her journey, okay? So we're on journeys together, we're on journeys apart. Talk about that ahead of time so you don't have the head-butting that I had, okay? So that's my experience and something I did wrong to share. So those are 7 things I told John to do in 2024. Did I miss something? Let me know in the comments. This is Joe out.